We're talking about the Minyan and who is Roy to Mitzaref to be combined to a Minyan. You need to have an adult, a Gadol. Im Loi Hevi Beisidus, the sign of maturity is when a person grows 2 hairs. Im Loi Hevi Beisidus, Afilu Hu Gadol L'Shanim, even if he's an adult, he's an older person. Dinei Kekatan, he's considered the status of a katan. It's a physical maturity, it's not about age. The reason why 13 is 13, because at that age, you grow 2 sidus. Ad sheyatsu hiroi shenoisa, then lamed vav shana. When a person in general, the average was shivim shana, 70 years of a person's lifespan, and majority is 36. So when a person turns 36, and he still did not grow the 2 sidus, shows his bar shisaris. Then it's his bar that he is someone with the status of a saris. L'yavi silas oilam, he will never grow hairs in that spot, and therefore we can consider him a gadol. We consider him the status of a gadol, an adult. We'll see soon why this is a gay also today. If there's certain signs that show you a person is a saris, that cannot have children, then dinei kegadol miben es mishana mayla. Then his status is the status of a gadol. As soon as he turned 20 years old, he can be counted from Minyan. And all other inyanim that require an adult. Mikoma came still in all. What happens if you have a bar mitzvah bacher? He's 13 years old, and he wants to daven right away ma'ariv for the Amud. And he wants to be part of a Minyan. Do we have to check? Do we have to ask the parent, the father, did he grow 2 hairs? Beisidus? Is he already an adult? He says no. Top of page Kuf Zayin. Anyone who reached, and the Ben Yigimel Shalom Yechad, he reached 13 days into the 13th day. You don't have to check. Since davening is midrabanan, davening with a tzibur, so we are soymich on the chazaka, assumption that min hastam, since he's 13, must probably heavy beisayris. Since he reached the age, which it's naturally fit that he should have grown the 2 siders, we have a chazaka. So we rely on that chazaka for dinei derabanan. However, by the way, when it comes to dinei which are deraisa, it's not that way. For example, in a matzah bakery, if someone who's 13 years old wants to be involved with the parts which actually require, that need to be lishma, like he wants to actually knead the dough, to roll it out. Not the things that we do when we go to the bakery. Things that we do at the bakery are just helping out. We're not actually doing anything which is really halachically required lishma. But if he wants to be involved in those aspects, and possibly even making the holes, he'll be considered that needs requires lishma min ha-Torah. Min ha-Torah has to be made for the sake of shem matzahs mitzvah. Since he is lav dafke really a real adult min ha-Torah, because we don't know if he grew beisayris yet, so we wouldn't be able to use him unless his father's going to say that he grew the 2 siders. So we can't use someone who's just bar mitzvah.
But you can use a woman?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You can use a woman because she's chayav a matzah.
Old bakers.
Yeah.
Old Russian ladies.
Yeah. They have matzahs.
Right.
You just have to make sure. By the way, lishma is only necessary for the matzahs which you bake for the Seder night. The rest of the matzahs pesach just have to make sure that there's no chametz there. They can be made by goyim. If you would theoretically have Yidden watching Super Mashgiach, and you train the goyim how to make matzahs, and the Yiddish matzah bakery, and you have goyish workers, there's no chametz. The Yid's watching everything. There's no problem. Pi halacha. Just you can't use it for the Seder night, because Seder night is matzahs mitzvah. Matzahs which are a mitzvah need to be done, made lishma, for the sake of the mitzvah. A guy is not doing it for the sake of the mitzvah. He has no shaykhs to the mitzvah. So therefore you can't have a guy doing it. But if it's just for the rest of Pesach, you don't need to have lishma. Or even the first 2 days of Pesach, as long as it's not for the Sadarim, it's not an issue. There was one time at Matzah Bakery they had a problem where they had an issue where they figured out, they claimed that they figured out that one of the workers there, that one of the Russian workers that had claimed to be Jewish, a lot of the other workers were claiming that the person wasn't Jewish. A lot of years ago, so there was Shiloh was an issue or not. Now all the matzahs, a lot of matzahs were baked already. It was already a few months into the baking. So now the question is, we don't know which matzahs. There's 20 people doing work there. So after Purim, the Paret says, and there was already there were like 20 workers there. So all the Rabbanim got excited. They have now a lot what to think about and to discuss to make Pilpulim. What is the halacha status of the matzahs? L'maisa there was discussions whether or not that those matzahs that were made by that Goya, are they bottle, maybe beroiv, because you have so many, or maybe it's not going to be bottle because it's a separate entity.
Problem was the guy was holding the matzahs, and he doesn't get like from beginning to the end. You do a little bit, you move it to the next one. That's the way you walk. You don't do the whole matzah by itself. So the Rabbanim says because the first one and the last, he was just in the middle. So it was the baker is saying l'shem matzah mitzvah. Everybody screaming l'shem matzah mitzvah every 18 minutes. So every mile is this. So because it was only in the middle, they said that it was.
Tell you the emes. I mean, maybe we'll learn these halachas when we get a little closer to Pesach. But I think there are also shittas which say that b'shas chak, if you have a yid standing on top of the goy and telling him to make a l'shem matzah mitzvah, a certain shita holds okay. We don't rely on that shita, but over here you have a big suffix b'chlal. Which one is from the maybe the ones? Who said the ones that you have are from here, and who says what that you're eating Friday, the Seder, and you have this. A lot of things to rely upon. So, a person could always buy a few extra matzahs just for the Sadarim,
In case,
By the olives.
That was one of the issues when it came to machine matzahs. One of the shilas that was originally brought up was how are we going to have lashma? The machine doesn't really think too much.
Right.
So, question is how are we going to make the lashma? So
it's in the machine, now it's lashma.
The person pushes the button, so he thinks lashma. B'shas he's doing it. So l'shem matzahs mitzvah.
How about if a woman
That's an issue with machines, with tzitzis.
If a woman nida, she's allowed to
She's allowed a pi halacha, but it does say in Kaf HaChaim, it says, brings down that there is such a chumrah out there that a woman shouldn't. But most of the bakeries are not makbid. They have.
They want a strong Russian woman.
The only one that men doing is Satmar, I think. The only bakery, the only men.
Today already maybe there's a few, but Papat Salem I think is only men.
So what do they do when they have little kids coming? They have to.
They don't. Anyone who comes to Matzah Bakery to help out when they make those chapuras, they're not really doing anything that really needs lashma. They're helping, handing out the sticks. They're cleaning the dishes. They're helping the process, speeding it along. But they're not doing the actual crucial parts. If they would, it would actually be a shaila. They're all major stuff the actual workers are doing in the Matzah Bakery.
I heard from the Rav Ashkenaz from Kfar Chabad, the Rav Shalom, that when he was a kid, the only bakery, Chabad bakery, was in Tel Aviv, because his father from Tel Aviv. So the Chazon Ish came from Bnei Brak to Tel Aviv to make matzah by the Chabad, he had a choice. And one of the person that was there, his name is Zalmanov. It was just after Bar Mitzvah or whatever, and Chazon Ish didn't like him because he didn't have a beer. So he's a cotton, he can't make the matzah bakery. So Ashkenaz said, no, he's my friend, he's a god. He took him to the next door, and they check him, he said, yeah, he's a god. He came back, he said, he's a god.
But it's no embarrassment there?
Oh, it's
Yeah, I heard also Montreal. I heard a story when someone said, pull down the pants.
Me too.
Fegelsteck. Anyways, okay, Siv Zayin. By me, you don't ask any questions. He's bar mitzvah, let him daven. Mit the Rabbanan. That's what we see in Siva. Siv Zayin. Im Hischil Echod Me'asore Lispalal Tfilos Yudches Levadei. If one of the 10 davened Shemana Esrei himself.
He went ahead and davened fast.
Yeah. Any Yochelanis from now he can't answer, be part of the 9 Tishoinim. Afal became Mitztaref Imohim. Still in all, he could be Mitztaref with them.
Even though he cannot answer.
We're down early.
Why can't he answer?
I can answer.
In Minyan Shemona Esrei, I will answer to them.
They down.
What's the problem? Daven ahead with them.
He starts Shemona Esrei.
Yeah. And they didn't have Shemona Esrei. Let's
They
say
didn't- they didn't know that he
Shema,
started.
and he started. So what's the problem?
When
When he finished, you wait for them and then they start. What's the problem?
The Maisi says no. The Lashon here is a little bit confusing, but the Maisi is saying like this. When it comes to davening, we're not talking about Chazaras HaShatz yet. We're talking about Shemana Esrei. What constitutes a minyan?
Belachash.
The lachash. When we say there's an inyan of davening b'tzibur with a minyan. What means a minyan? How many people have to actually be davening with the minyan? All 10? No. As long as you have 6 people davening, you have 10 people in the room, it's enough to constitute a minyan. Im hischil echem esal l'spal tfilas yitches levadei. V'en yochel la nisimoim. And he cannot answer anymore.
Answer what?
That's still
Shemona Esrei Chazara?
No, let's read it again. I'm sorry, let's read it again.
I don't think so.
What happens to Davar Shabbat Kaddish, Baruch Hu, not Chazaras HaShatz. Kaddish or Baruch Hu. What happens? You had one of the 10 people started davening Shemana Esrei, he went ahead, he's already davening Shemana Esrei, now he can't answer anymore. So what are you going to do?
The Chazan want to say Baruch Hu and he
Wants to say Kaddish, Baruch Hu.
Right.
Any Yochelanis Imoim. Afa became still no Mitztaref Imoim, he can be counted as part of the minyan. Vuadin Lebeis or Gimel Adal, even if there's up to 4 people that are davening and they're not able to answer. Kol shenisha haroi sheinin amin and niyas hamit makebes. Very important dinim we're learning now. Then the answering of the minority is not ma'akiv. Shein amidas davar shebekdusha biyud toli ba'niyasam. The fact that one is allowed to say a davar shebekdusha, a kaddish, a baruch hu, it's not totally whether they answer or not. Rak sheyusham. They just need to be there in the room.
Physically.
Shenever mikdashti b'soich b'nei Yisrael. Where does it say that you didn't have to be able to answer? Kedusha, I become made holy amongst b'nei Yisrael. I'll call asara shem b'nei kedusha. Shechina shara aleim. The Shechina is there. Yichoyim loimer davar shebekdusha. You could say a davar shebekdusha.
Interesting.
And he gives examples. What davar shebekdusha could you say? Very important parentheses. Could go in Kaddish or Baruch Hu, or even Kedusha. In Mashiach Tzibur lispal adayim b'lachash atzmei. Not a Chazaras HaShatz. What happens if a Shliach Tzibur didn't daven yet for himself privately? Sometimes we send up to the Amid someone who he's holding by Shemana Esrei. He didn't daven yet Shemana Esrei, but everyone else already davened. So they want him to be able to answer. They want they don't if the Chazan is going to daven for the Amid. So he wants to start Shemana Esrei. And he can't answer anyways, even before, because he can't answer Melo Birchas Kiyah Shema Amid's. So they send him to the Amid. And the Chazaras HaShatz for everyone is his first feel, it's his lachash. So he could say Kedusha, even if that Kedusha, he could say, even if there's no 10 people answering that Kedusha.
9 people.
6 people.
6 people.
Meaning that person.
Yeah, but I thought Chazaras HaShatz has different dinim.
But not when that person in a chanami. But when that person himself is a lachash, he is davening his lachash. It's not going to be a bracha levatala because he himself didn't daven yet.
So that's only one person extra. So then you need another 9 because still the Shemana Esrei is different than.
Continue to
Avo kashashliach tzibur choyz at filopama base.
That's the
When the Shliach Tzibur is doing it as a second time,
then you need
like normally, Tzarech Lizar, Shiutisha, Shoimim, Tesh Shoimim, V'oine Amen Achrav. And then you need to have 9 people answering Amen. Shelo Yibrachois
Oh,
Latala.
that's where the extra din
His
comes
bracha should not be Latala.
I mean, the Chazara is more important than Lachash, according to Tzedek.
Not more important, but
Kedusha.
the halacha, you need the 9 people, because what's the whole reason why we're chazing it over? It's only a takana, only when you have tzibur is answering amen. If you don't have tzibur, over here he's very sharp. Shelo yiber choisev levatala. And the Siddur later on, I think he writes that karavli is levatala. It's close to being batala. He brings the lashon of the Rosh, and later on Chazar Hashatz.
very strict.
Ein tes machav b'choisav. Karev is close to being b'choisav latala. Ki Chazar Hashatz and Sakon Amida Basara.
Wow, so that's
Chazal made a l'chatchila to be said in front of 10 and 10 people listening to the brachas.
So it's a good trick then if you don't have.
So the Maisa is over here. So that's a very important klal. The klal of 9 people answering is only by Chazaras Hashatz.
Berov Hamadrat Melech.
Everywhere
Some
else,
people hold you need 10
everywhere
besides.
else, you only need 6 people answering. Hakadosh, Abaruchu. You don't need everyone to answer. You need everyone to be there in the room.
You need
Because
6
they don't need to answer. So someone else is in the middle of davening.
It's fine.
He could still, you could say the Kaddish, you could say the Baruch Hu. If he's already holding at a point in davening where he's not allowed to say answer Amen to Kaddish, you could say the Kaddish. It's okay, because he's mitzdarif. But for Chazaras Hashatz it's different. Lagabi this Ian, by the way, I heard from a Rav, he said that when it comes in a Beis Chabad, you have in a Chabad, so you could have sometimes the Minyan is made up of people which a lot of them are not necessarily paying attention to Chazaras Hashatz, and they're not really able to daven themselves. So what do you do with Chazaras Hashatz? So he said he advised the shliach, whoever it is, that he himself should daven his shtil Shemon Esrei, his quiet Shemon Esrei, as the Chazaras Hashatz.
Very good.
This way there's no shaila of bracha levatala. Because he's saying you're allowed to say kedusha, like we said over here, because this kedusha does not need 10 people to listen. It needs 6 people to listen.
So this should be a trick that's more universal than a specific Chabad.
Kobe needs to be used in other shuls too.
I don't understand. What do you bypassing? I missed the point.
In this specific situation,
Yeah.
when the chazan is doing davening Shemon Esrei Chazaras Hashatz, he already davened tefillah.
Right.
So in order for him to be allowed to do Chazaras Hashatz, there needs to be 9 people answering.
Right.
So let's say you have only 8 people, one of the people middle Shemon Esrei. You're not going to start. You have to wait for him, right?
Is there a different place he said?
What
you need
happens if instead of the chazan who davened for the Amud doing Chazan Hashatz, you ask the person in the minyan who did not yet daven Shemon Esrei?
Okay.
He's behind a little bit. He just reached Shemon Esrei.
Okay.
It's Sibra finished Shemon Esrei. You send him to the Amud.
Okay.
So he is davening his first Shemon Esrei,
Okay.
not a Chazar Hashatz. So it comes out, there's no issue of brachas levatolis like there is in a regular Chazar Hashatz where it's davening a second time. It's not a second time. This is his tefillah. He has to daven it anyways. He's going to, instead of saying it quietly, he's going to say it out loud. He's going to say his Shemon Esrei out loud. That's okay.
We learned
And
that
you can answer Amen to it, and you could say Kedusha. As long as you have 6 people answering to Amens and Kedusha, it's okay.
Why? What the takana would make Chazara? Why?
Originally, the takana was because people were not. There were many people that did not know how to daven. It wasn't like today we had Sidurim.
But in nowadays, 99% of the
True.
people knows that.
like everything else in Yiddishkeit.
A lot of other things in Yiddishkeit.
Yeah.
We're still doing this thing.
That's important.
Yeah, we have to look into some Kabbalah reasons for it.
It can be more maker.
Did we learn you
No,
need
this
10
one is not totally
besides
serious.
10 besides the 11 people? 10 besides the chazan?
No.
I went to the Navi Shem at the Shabbat by Roy and said, when do we change it to Tefillah Sedera, Chayes Ros? When do we ever see Chayes Ros? He said, we don't change things that were
We still see a lot of Chayes Rois Baderech. You see the road rage.
Any place.
The road rage.
The full of them all over. Walking on two.
Yes, that's it.
In the 9 days I was by the Koil by Hilla in Minyan, and he was davening for them when he was in the year whatever. And he asked the Ingelites to say Baruch Hu Shmuel. They should answer, oh man, middle Shmonas, middle Chador Shas. He just closed the siddur and left. He says, I'm making Baruch Hu so I don't hear Baruch Hu Shmuel. It's like that.
He made us a shalom.
Wow.
He made an oyster shalom in the middle.
He just stopped. He said Baruch Hu.
Wow.
That's a
Does he still do this?
No,
That's a statement.
Look what the Alter Rebbe write over here. You have to have 9 people answer.
Wow.
It's not a joke. It's not. No, but in our shul also, many times people thinking, be on the phone talking this. You need 9 people to answer, otherwise it's dumb. It's a
I think I
First of
remember
all, you
that
don't have a
story.
minyan mincha.
I think I might have been there, but I remember him turning around. That's one thing I do remember. I remember him turning around in the middle of Chazal Shatz and screaming at the Aylam and answering.
what?
What? He spoke out in the middle.
I guess he took it seriously. He
He
said
said, no, I don't know. He turned around. He got all this. Anyways, Lamaisa. Yeah. Okay, so that's been a Geya. So always very important to know. Kaddish and Baruch Hu only need 6 people. That means a Mashal Ma'ariv over here, right? We're going to finish Ma'ariv. And some people are davening more Barichas.
That's what we
But the Oilam, let's say the Oilam wants to go.
You have 6 people.
The
that
Oilam
finish
wants to
Shmonas.
go. Is having the regular normal
One
Shemon
time,
Esrei,
one
not
time.
quick, not having special hurry, a regular normal Shemon Esrei. But someone wants to Ma'arich Tefillah, a beautiful thing. But you don't have to wait for him to answer.
If you have 6,
If you have 6, it's enough.
That's it. Okay.
6, a Davar Shebekdusha. Besides for Chazar Hashatz, every Davar Shebekdusha only needs 6 people to answer. Now, what has about the status of someone sleeping? Someone's sleeping in the room, so he's also here in the room. So when he's sleeping in the room, is it also part, or only someone who davens, who's in the middle of davening Shemoneh Esrei, could still be considered part of the 10? Siv Ches. The Yeshoimrim, some say, Shehu adinim echad mi yud yashin. The same din would apply if one of the people of the minyan is sleeping. He as well, but statif, he can be counted l'davar shebekdusha. Even though he's not answering, he could be part of the 10. But more than one already, it's not appropriate. Because ain't covered shemayim l'tzar from mishenim. It's not covered. You can't have a minyan of sleeping people. There's one guy sleeping. It's not noticeable. 9, 10.
So what's the problem to wake him up?
Let's say he's not going to be too happy if you wake him up. I don't
So,
know.
but we need him for minyan.
Well, you see here, we don't need
Gezel Shena. Gezel Shena.
We don't need
In
it.
a lot of flight, you have this thing to close the eyes. It says, I daven already.
Oh, really?
That's cute. Don't wake me up, huh?
Yeah, I'm not talking about a guy who's sleeping in the middle of davening. Someone who's sleeping because he already davened in the morning. He was up all night learning Torah. So, so therefore, according to the Shita, one person you're allowed to do that. One sleeping person can be tzad, not more than one. More than one, so you're not covered. Others say no, you cannot compare someone who's sleeping to someone who's davening. When someone sleeps, his neshama goes l'mayla, leaves him. Ve'ein kedusha shayla, there's no kedusha there. Not only that, it's possible sheruach hatuma shayla alav. Afil k'shei Hashem. When someone sleeps by day, there's a machlokes whether or not
Right, we
the
went through,
ruach hatuma, you have to wash negavasa by day,
we
right?
went through this whole
You
thing
have a nap.
with him.
So therefore, you have your machlokes whether or not a yashin can be mitzaref. Liyamaisa, we're going to hear the answer the Olam said over here in Lahachnis is as machlokes. Don't enter into machlokes. Give him shalakitzah, you can wake him up. But if you had no choice, then maybe you can rely on the shita here. Just Alter Rebbe saying lechatchila, we don't need to get involved in the machlokes over here because let's just wake him up and that's it.
So he's right.
Let them stand
If you
up.
had it in a certain situation, we can't wake him up for some reason. Let's say he's a choila or something else.
Well, he's not.
So then there's bemis
100%.
maybe mokum to mitzaref the first sheet if we have no one else. If we have no one else, then we'll say b'diavad we can lie. Obviously, lechatchila, let's try to find someone. But if not, l'chori you can rely on the first day. Sif tes. What happens if you have someone davening by himself? He's still davening. Even there's 10 people without him. It's not right that the minyan should just go and leave him. Let him also answer Chazaras Hashatz and hear the minyan. Nochen shemtinu maloimer kaddish. You should wait for saying kaddish. Even though he's mitzdarf to the minyan, when he's not saying, even though he can't answer, but it's better to wait for him.
It's not Torah.
So you give him 1 minute. He should also be zoichet to be able to answer kaddish. It's a proper thing, a chiyuv. It's proper to do that. However, if he's going much longer than everyone else, you don't have to wait. So if it's a little bit, wait a little bit. Okay, he's mamish there, even though there's already 10 people without him, so you can wait for him. But if he's trying, he wants to daven longer, so no. So I remember when I was in yeshiva, so there was a Shoshana davening in Kippur, and the Rosh Hashiva, as a shachat in Los Angeles, he was he brought every year his son from Yerushalayim to be the chazan, but his son is the family, the shachats are known there with their tkifus and everything, and his son had a lot of tkifus and akshanis. Anyways, he finished Shemana Esrei on Rosh Hashanah. And his father wanted to daven long. He wanted davening a long Shemana Esreis, and he didn't want the minyan to wait. But the son said no. Kibbadav, he's waiting for his father. And the whole minyan finished, and everyone's waiting, and the father is still there, and he said no, he's not moving. So the oilam's getting all dust, and his mother is already knocking from upstairs. From the Vaivishal, they already hear the knocking that she wants him to move on. And he's not moving. No. Father, how do you listen to when there's a kibbud of aim? Father, the mother, you go to the father, so he's listening, he's waiting. So finally his father had to bang over there by his place. David already.
While he was in the middle of the lesson.
So David had a little bissel of tzan,
but he's also the Rosh Hashiva. Usually you wait for the Rosh Hashiva.
Yeah, but he was going for a very long time. He didn't want Matriach on the Tzibur and everything. And
so he has to tell his son in the beginning, when...
Well, now he knows for next time.
Now he knew.
No, Rav Metlik, in the early series, used to talk very fast, and the Rebbe told him, when you give a shir, to talk clearly to the bocher. So he took it very seriously, and he started talking slowly. All of Rav Metlik, when he was talking every word slowly. Daven Chazan 70, he is holding by Shema Koleinu, over there on this page, and the Rebbe makes the shoulder. And the bocher, next time, the Rebbe finished, and he gave a look. Where's the shoulder?
But he was the
So
Shliach
skip everything?
I don't want to say what he did.
He was the Shliach Tzibur.
Whoa.
He was down the Amud.
Yes.
Sif Yud.
Forever.
Sif Yud.
He's not going to make that ever wait.
But we knew what
You should know that I heard a story from someone who he told me like this, that he said that there was a certain person, he told me all the names, was davening, had a yard site, he had a Velos that year, he was davening in 1989, he was davening for the Amud. Shalom Duchman from Koil Chabad, who runs Koil Chabad, Rabbi Duchman, he was davening for the Amud after one of his parents, and he was davening quick, and the Rebbe was holding with him. So he thought that the Rebbe is, this is what the Rebbe is holding with him, so he should move quick, go quick. Later on, the secretary of the Rebbe, Rabbi Groner, came to him and told him the Rebbe wants you to slow down.
Whoa.
So he said he thought that the Rebbe was with him, but maybe the Rebbe was with him, but the Rebbe was not happy with the Rebbe wanted him to be slow.
Wow.
Misha Yasha and Sifyo, Misha Yasha B'Shal Shat Sibur Ma'Gil Davar Shabbat someone who's sleeping when the time that the Sibur comes to saying Davar Shabbat Dusha, Nach and Shiyam Tinu. It's proper to wait at Shiyiru Mishinase till he wakes up. And if he didn't want to get up, you don't have to wait for him. Because you could say without him, you have 6 people, you don't need to wait for him. Sif Yud Aleph Cheresh Hamadaber Ben Yishmei, someone who does not hear, but he could speak, he's deaf. Oy Shemei Ben Adaber, or he could hear, but he can't speak, he's mute. Hein Kepikhim. They are considered, Pikeach means they're considered like a regular, normal person. And with star from the Chol Davar Shebekdusha, they are counted as part of a Davar Shebekdusha. Even though they can't answer because they can't hear or they can't speak, so they don't know when to answer or they can't say answer. They count for part of the four people. You need to have 6 people to answer. Afilu him beis yoysim. There are two or more of them. Kol sharoiv and pikchim. As long as the majority of the minyan is pikchim, shechoyin lanas amin, they could answer amin. Ein anius hamiut ma'akeves. It doesn't ma'akev. Kol shem b'nei mitzvah, since they're chayiv mitzvahs, v'shchina shoyr aleim, the shchina shoyr on them. So it's not an issue like we said before. 6 people have to answer. Just it has to be 10 people that are chayiv and tayag mitzvahs, 10 men in the room that are chayiv and mitzvahs. But they don't have to all answer.
Doesn't hear.
What's a cheresh?
Deaf or mute.
That doesn't fall in here.
That is, yeah. Cheresh, Sefir Al. Cheresh,
no?
a mute, a deaf person.
The cheresh right of a katan.
That you'll see, that is talking only about when the Torah says that a cheresh is not chayiv and mitzvahs, it's talking about one is deaf, mute, both. Only one impairment is still considered pikeach. Deaf, mute, that's a big issue. That's not considered a pikeach. It's not a Torah. It's considered a shaita. Even though a lot of times they're very intelligent, but a Torah, they're not considered a pikeach. They can still do mitzvahs and everything, but they can do mitzvahs, but we can't mitzaref them to the minyan.
What if they could communicate? They could speak with sign language.
So there was, years ago, there was a certain Rav that brought up this idea. No one ever took it serious. Someone mentioned that threw out this idea that maybe we'll consider their sign language as a method of speaking. Lapel is not accepted. What we do have today is where you have deaf mutes, which will go through training in special schools, and some of them can begin to speak. They can begin to speak.
And already they're not.
They can train them to speak. So that became a shaila years ago when they started these schools. Already, 200 years ago, when these schools came out where they're able to train real chershim to start to talk. So the halacha is that if you're born, like we said before, a cheresh is born who's a medaber, he could speak. Even though Einei Shemei can't hear, he's considered a pikach l'chol davar. He's considered a pikach for everything. But
What's a child?
the shaila over here is that it's not natural. He was sort of like trained to speak. L'poil, poiskim are mekel, and poiskim say that if the person could speak, even though it was not from birth, but was later on trained in to speak, the person is pikeach. Well, the says it gets sometimes sticky because sometimes they don't really speak clear. And you have them where they're not really necessarily, a lot of the words are not understood. Or even if they're understood, it's because you can understand what they're saying. Something it's like baby talk, it's not really clear. They're not really saying the words properly. So how do you define speech? And these can get into big sveikas. One time I had a brother-in-law who was involved with such a parsha. And the tshuva, it went, the shaila, someone brought up the shaila to Rabbi David Feinstein in Manhattan, so and Rabbi David originally understood that the shaila was that the person went to school and he was able to fully speak. So now he's a medaber. Before he was an Einei Shemei v'Einei medaber. Now he's a medaber v'Einei Shemei. So he wrote, he's a hischel daber. So the poskim hold that he has a status of a pikeach. But the ma'isa it wasn't so pashut because the shaila of this individual,
He doesn't speak clearly.
they were able to understand 20% of what he spoke.
40%.
And even the 20% of what he spoke wasn't so clear. The other 80% he would do sign language, he'd write on his phone. He was an intelligent individual, very smart. He wrote on his phone things. The ma'isa, they resubmitted the shaila to him again. His son explained that the shaila was a little different. He said, "Oh, that's the the shaila." He said it's a big suffix, and you have to mach. So it's not negaya to most situations because I'll tell you, legabe a minyan, for most, it's the main thing that's going to be nicker is legabe minyan. It could be legabe minyan, could be makam or makam lahakol, sterabana, and I don't know. You have to think about it, but legabe answering, they can't answer anyways. They don't hear, they don't speak. So how are they going to answer? It's not something about answering. That's what we say over here. Listen over here. Look what we say here. Here we're talking about chershim, deaf or mutes that have a status of that they have only one impairment, so they have a status of being a pikech. So they're allowed to be part of a minyan, even though they can't answer, because as long as you have 6 people that could answer, it's okay. Second line to the top of the page Kuf Sadaches. Elo she'im hashliach tzibur mispalo kvar balachash liyachs et filoshenis. And look, yesh tes hashem v'ina ami. Unless, but if he's doing chazaras hashatz, then you have a problem, because they can't answer. So they can't answer, they can't physically answer, it doesn't matter why, but they can't answer. Just like you have someone who's sleeping or davening can't answer, can't be part of chazaras hashatz, and you have 9 people answering. But this answer your question, a cheresh, which is not, both is not here, and he can speak, and he has a status of a shait and a katan, a minor. Wherever you see in Chazal, they spoke about a cheresh, they talk about a deaf mute, both eine shemeya ve'ene medaber.
What's a shaitan?
And by this specific person that was a deaf mute, he actually was he trained himself a lot of things, and he gave shiurim for other Jewish deaf mute people. And he had shiurim with them, and he teaches them. There's even a yeshiva. There's a yeshiva. There's in Baltimore. I heard one from Toronto, Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
So there's a few places where there are pasha yeshivas for
Especially
This
that-
kind of
these type of people, and Sai over there, they help them to physically to speak and everything, and also they pasha teach them Torah. Pasha teach them Torah.
What's a shaitan?
A shaita is a shaita.
Yeah,
I mean, what's the status of a shaita? I mean,
what
someone who's not
quantifies?
You can't count money.
shaita. The Gemara says, "Who lose ma'abed mashanois? He loses what you give him." You know, they say you give him a stone. You see what he do. You give him a nut, an eggs, and he throws it away. And you give him the stone, and he keeps it. So you know, he doesn't have das. Shaitzam doesn't have das. The status of shaita is not so clear. You know, which comes up. No, it does come up sometimes because you know it comes up when it comes to giving a get, things like that. And if it's a shiloh, if the person's a shaita or not. So
So Machzedek has a story like that. That
you
somebody
say in the name of the Tzemach Tzedek. So the Rebbe said that he never heard the story by Dallas. Someone came to Dallas to the Rebbe and asked him about the story.
So he said, I never heard this.
He said he didn't hear from his Kabbalah. He never heard such a nice thing. Someone said.
If a guy made
So there's been write-ups about it that does say in certain places it did happen. By the way.
There's a shliach in California that he doesn't speak, he doesn't hear. I mean, he hears, doesn't speak nothing, and he lost his muscles. His name is Horowitz.
Right. Yeah.
So they're making a minyan in his
Yitzi
room.
Horowitz.
He's next door to yeshiva.
He was
Right.
with me in Morristown, it's your
So the only way he answer is by eyes. You read on the eyes on the computer, and that's how you read.
So he can't be part of
Moscow.
the 9 people because that's a shatz. If he
He can be
hears,
part of a minyan, but he
Part
cannot
of
be
it-
a part of.
not for Chazal
Chazal
Shatz. Everything else besides Chazal
So they
Shatz.
make a minyan. There's a kid, 10 kids without him.
Always 10 Bachram come without him. He's a very special
I
yid.
know him personally. I was
Really?
with him in Yeshiva. He's a Baal Skafi in Yeshiva.
Yeah?
Very clearly. He
So
wasn't.
they can't give him aliyah to the
By
Torah.
nature, he wasn't like he's a Baal Skafi from the beginning, this guy.
He's a jolly guy, right?
He
I know
was
his
a Levity guy.
younger
He was
brother.
always dancing and
He
this.
could have gone
He was a
either
Levity
way,
guy.
but when he was in Morristown, he was Baal Skafi.
He's
So
a very impressive individual, holds himself very strong. He writes Vartoides every week.
Yeah, I'm saying.
And gives out
he was very
Vartoides.
impressive in Yeshiva.
I'm sure I see his father every day. I saw his father today. His father's very proud of his son's Vartoides every day. And the shul over there, his mother comes to the shul in Crown Heights. His mother every Shabbos, she reads with the ladies the Vartoides that his son writes.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
If the guy is a medaber,
But he's
but
deteriorating, no?
allowed to be a chaza,
He doesn't get. They don't get better.
but he's a cheresh.
What does he have?
But he can say the whole tefillah.
Yeah, well,
Halfway. You just said it in the beginning. You don't.
Finished. Can't get better, huh? No.
Doesn't talk about it here. It's a good question, but I would think he can't. I would think he can't because he can't hear himself.
He can't.
I would think so. He can't hear himself. I don't know for sure.
Even for the ordinary brachot, and the chafila, he has to be mashmiel osno.
Right. I don't think he could, but it's a good point.
Usually people like that is not clear. They don't take it.
Yeah, the ones who speak, you're saying. Yes. Later on, I actually
So they
found
have
that
already-
Moshe Feinstein
they
himself
have
and his
already-
father's
they-
Shabbos
they
had a
acknowledge
similar
such a-
shilas in the same sack.
Yeah.
So Stam knew his father's sack. Okay, you have to be very sensitive. These people are very sensitive about status and everything, and be careful with the
Especially when you have exactly 10 people and this guy that should, you have to be very careful. They get very upset and nervous right away.
Are they allowed to be mitzaref to Zimun? We're two guys, and the third guy doesn't speak, but you
I
can
don't know.
see.
We have to learn Dinei Zimun. Rabbi Merazov taught Dinei Zimun, no?
But we never spoke about Cheresh.
I have to ask him. I don't know. Even I don't know. Okay, Sif Yud Beis. The oilam u'katan, a child is always considered a katan. I don't know why this halach is here, not earlier. I just don't know, but a minor is always considered a minor. At shiyavi beisaitis acher shiyah ben yugimel shani v'echad.
After Bar Mitzvah.
Till after bar mitzvah. What happens koydem l'chein if he had earlier already two sidus? You don't say, oh, I had a sign of the maturity, so let's say bar mitzvah already. Why not? These are not the actual real cyrus because they don't grow until the age around the age of 13.
The word.
The word comes the word fat. Like people grow here is not nothing to do with those maturities here. Here that's sign of maturity. So you need, practically speaking, you need to really the sign itself, the sign of maturity itself is what makes the person a gadol. But until the person's 13, we don't consider those sidus to be those real sidus. They don't usually grow there. So it's after 13, and the one has those two space sidus.
There are problems with that because we see from Tanakh, like for instance, Shlomo HaMelech, he had his child when he was 12 years old.
Also, he's mentioned.
Children is different.
I also
You
mentioned
can
to
have
have a
children when
child.
you're 9 already.
Okay, but
We said that over Shabbos that if you have a child, you're automatically considered a gadol.
A gedolah,
Okay, but how
lady,
how could he even kaddish a woman?
No, we're talking about a man.
Yeah, but how could the man who's a katan?
Oh, you have kiddushei katan. You have kiddushei katan. You're right, but it's a status of there is kiddushei katan.
Where's the kaddish?
So they will be arrested, but
What?
Where did
Now they
the
will be
halacha
arrested.
such thing as a kaddish?
Not in certain countries.
Not only that, there were people got married much younger, right? There was a famous chassid of Hillel She got married when he was
before his bar mitzvah.
before his bar mitzvah, and he wore his talis before he started putting on tefillin. They used to call him Chalamayid because he wore his talis, but he didn't have any tefillin, like a Chalamayid.
How can you can't look at it? There's no kiddushin for a katan. How can you?
It's derabbanan. It's derabbanan. You're right. It's only midrabbanan.
What?
His kiddushin. The kiddushin is only midrabbanan.
So how can you make?
When they
kiddushin-
become a gadol, when they
how come
grow with
today
each other and they become gedolim, will become the status of a.
So how come today we don't look for any stars? 13 is 13. We don't talk about it.
Because only by deraisa, by derabbanan. Earlier we said it's by derabbanan we take on a chazaka that he grew beisayis. We need to go check. Usually we say like this: a chazaka. There's something called chazaka. We assumption, right? But when I could be mavar the assumption, the chazaka, we don't say why rely on a chazaka when I can figure it out. So the beisayis we say like this: if the child turned bar mitzvah. When it comes to din, which is derabanan, we don't bother checking. Hey, said the mitzvah is only derabanan. Let's say for minyan, so we rely on the chazaka that he grew it. But if it comes to din deraisa, we say no. It's not enough to rely on the chazaka. Since the chazaka she'ef shel levruri, we have to mevarinun. We have to go mevarer. Kol she'ef shel levruri, we have a chiyuv to go mevarer as much as we could.
What would be an example of the rice like an eight
Like matzah, you weren't here in the Lina year. Let's say matzah. When you bake matzahs, there's certain parts of the that need to be done l'shma. Or let's say writing tefillin, right? Tefillin have to be written l'shma.
You don't let
What's going to be a sefer or something which needs to has dini deraisa to it. It needs to have a gadol.
So he has to be like
You don't allow the
15,
gadol
16.
until you know he has beisayis. Till either the father could check. The father will tell you. Some will be made, or wait till he's a little older. Let's say exactly
Blowing the
when.
shofar.
Blowing shofar, right? Very good example. Blowing shofar from Miftzayim on Rosh Hashanah. We should not be sending around boys that just turned bar mitzvah.
You see a lot of kids bar mitzvah. They look like children.
מסתעמד וחזקה.
Hopefully they grew base-sided.
מסתעמד, exactly.
Okay. Sif Yud Gimel. More about bar mitzvah. More how do we define bar mitzvah. Some years, some people don't have their birthdays. They miss their birthdays. Why? Because there is no that year. There are two months every year that change. How many?
29 and 30.
Right. Basically, the Yiddish month's calendar is every month is either a Chodesh Malei or Chodesh Chas. Chodesh Malei means a 30-day month. Chodesh Chas means 29 days. When there's 2 days of Chodesh, it means that the past month was a full month of Chodesh Malei. That's why the 30th day is Rosh Chodesh. The first day was Chodesh. The second day is Aleph of the next month. Now, from Tishrei is always a Malei. Tishrei is always 30 days. Always a Chodesh Malei. Teves is always a Chaser. Teves, Chodesh Teves is always 29. Right? We just had 1 day.
Yeah.
Chodesh Shvat, right? Teves is always a Chaser. From Teves and on till the ending of the year, it goes in a Seder. It's in a pattern. Teves is Chaser, Shvat is Malei. Adar is Chaser, Nisan is Mali, and it goes that way for the rest of the year in a Seder. So all you have to remember is Tishrei is always a 30-day month, a Mali. Tevis is always a Chaser, and once you know Tevis, you know the rest of the year because it goes in a pattern. There are 2 months which fluctuate, which is Cheshvan and Kislev. Cheshvan and Kislev can fluctuate 3 different ways. It either will be, both of them will be Chaserim, both will be only 29 days, which is called a Shana Chasera. It's a missing year, misses 2 days. It could both be Malay, which will be a Shana Tmima, a Shana Malaya. I think that's maybe the term is Shana Tmima, but each one will be a Malay. They'll both be 30 days. Or it could be a Shana Kisidram, a Shana which everything will be a pattern. Cheshvan will be Chaser, because Tishrei, remember, is a Malay. It's a 30-day month. So Cheshvan will be a Chaser, and Kislev will be Malay. Tev is always a Chaser. So it will be the whole year will be a pattern. So it will be Malay, Chaser, in that pattern. So now, some years, if the person, let's say, was born on the 30th day of Cheshvan, Lamed Cheshvan, because that year, Cheshvan was a Malay. What happens next year, 30 years later, that month is a Chaser, so he has no Lamed Cheshvan. Lamed Cheshvan does not exist on the calendar because only 29 days in Cheshvan. So when's it going to be his Yom Ha'alet? When's it going to be his Bar Mitzvah? So if you give him, Misha Noilad B'Yem Rishon Shalish Chodesh Kislev, someone was born on the first day of Chodesh Kislev, Shehu Yom Lamed Shal Cheshvan, which is the 30th day of Cheshvan. V'shnas Yud Gimel Chayud Gimel. When he became turned 13, Chodesh Cheshvan, Mar Cheshvan was a chaser, was missing. Chodesh Kislev L'Yom Echad, it's 1 day. So when's going to be his birthday? When's going to be his Bar Mitzvah? Birthday is not so important. The Bar Mitzvah is when's going to be his Bar Mitzvah? Half a bikini, and that's the Bar Mitzvah is Chodesh Kislev. We don't say that on the 29th day. Once that he became Bar Mitzvah, no. He has to wait till Aleph Kislev. Ava Bishal Chadash and Meshana Moini Miyoyim Beishal Chodesh. Shu Iker. Yom Aleph Melech Chodesh Lofonov. Even though, when it comes to months and years, we calculate the first day of Rosh Chodesh, the second day of Rosh Chodesh as the Iker day of Rosh Chodesh, and the first day of Rosh Chodesh is always from the previous month. So I should say over here that the Rosh Chodesh is for the next month, and he was born in the previous month.
That's what he's saying.
Mikol Makim Adayin Leimalu Yigimel Shem Shleimis Miyoyim L'Yoyim and Sheyavru Choftes Yoyim Shleimim Ar Cheshvan. He needs to go by him 29 full complete days of Cheshvan. Just like the year he was born. How many days of Cheshvan passed by him?
When?
29 days. He was born on the 30th Cheshvan when he was born. Lamed Cheshvan. How many days of Cheshvan passed by before he was born?
Past 29.
29 days. So also now in the year of the Bar Mitzvah, Eina Chanami, there's no Lamed Cheshvan. So forget about Lamed. He needs to pass by him 29 days of Cheshvan. Full days. So until Rosh Chodesh Kislev is not Bar Mitzvah.
This is a separate thing.
Yeah, he doesn't talk over here, by the way, about the two others. We one time had a share on that over here, a number of years ago. Maybe we'll have to get into it again, but about what do you do with the two others?
Wasn't
Probably the same
I
thing.
wasn't bar mitzvah.
Let's do one more sif.
It
Huh?
wasn't a bar mitzvah, Pasha Zachor, Baba Yom. And the Rav says you could read the Pasha, but Pasha Zachor, somebody else read, not you.
That you can't read.
The kid had a bar mitzvah and it was Baba Yom. He did not let them read Pasha
Oh.
Zachor.
Maybe he doesn't have Shtei Cyrus.
Exactly. That's why.
And he's not going to
Because
start asking about a Shtei Cyrus. It's
that's right. So you don't let the cotton. You don't let the cotton read. A very good. Another good example.
This was the Raisa. Pasha
You don't
Zachor
let the
was
cotton read. Yeah.
You should have piped up. We'll check him right now.
Sif Yudal. One more sif. Avayin she'avar agzeres hatziva shegazri v'nidu v'cherim. What happens if someone did Avedis and well, let's say he transgressed a gzeira of the tzibur. The tzibur had a certain gzeira, and anyone who over this certain takana that Kiyeva had is going to be in nidu in chayrim. They made a nidu chayrim on this individual. Oy she'avar is excommunicated from the congregation. Oy she'avar Avedis is chayv al nidui. Or he did an Aveira, not a Takana, the Tzibur, but he actually was over a certain Aveira, one of the Aveiras in the Torah that obligates you to Chayiv needed. There's a certain Aveiras that you get needed for. Still in all, Mitztaref, L'minyan Asar L'chol Dav Shukdusha. He can, even though he's in Nidui, he's excommunicated, there's a Chayrim against him, he can be counted as part of the Minyan. Shenemar Ba'achin. It says by Achin, Achin was an individual who sinned in Tanakh. He stole from the spoils of the war. No one's supposed to touch it. Chata Yisrael. It calls him Yisrael. It says a Yid who sinned. Avapi shechata Yisrael. It's a Mishnah in Sanhedrin. Even though he sinned, he's still considered a Yid. Avapi shechata Yisrael, the famous lashon.
Yeah.
Still considered a Yid. Or b'kedusha say hu oimid. He's still in his kedusha. But lo yatsa mi klal Yisrael. He did not leave klal Yisrael. However, what happened? It was a different type of nidui. The nidui was that they said that they want him to be separate from them. The community wants him separated from them.
Excommunication.
Yeah. They excommunicated him from them. Then he can't be combined. Because if he could, what's it going to help? Whole point was to try to separate him from the group, and he could still be part of the group. He's still allowed to daven there in the shul, since there are 10 people without him. Elam Kain, unless that community went so far and Pirshu they explicitly put as part of their nidui, and now they're excommunicating from being part of the minyan, but he can no longer even daven in their shul.
Some doesn't give it.
Lahachmer and King Pirshu, Lahachmer Bakap, were so machmer with him, they don't want him in their shul. So once he says that already, they can't even have him in the shul.
Can't
To find a new shul.
until he gets out.
They get a new shul. But have a